There have been many people who have shaped me into the guy I am today. Some people deserve recognition this speech could have also been written about. My cousin, Gabe Jenner, my two best friends, Sean and Adam, my dad, my brother Jake. But when thinking about it, I had one person I've looked up to my entire life. It's my brother Dan. It all started at a very young age when Dan was 8.5, 9, 10, somewhere in there, when I was born. So naturally, right from the get-go, I looked up to my two older brothers. But my brother Jacob was just so mature. And what kind of 5-year-old or a teenager wants to be mature? I just remember at a very young age, Dan told me his favorite vehicle was a Mustang. So naturally, my favorite as well, even though I had never seen one in my entire life. I remember trying to picture what a Mustang would look like, so I pictured a tow truck, because at the time, that was the coolest vehicle I ever saw, and I saw that in a computer game. Well, we grew up, and Dan bought a Mustang, and you know what's next? I bought a Mustang. But I'm jumping ahead of myself. The story I'm about to tell goes back to when I was 9 years old. At the time, my mother was very sick with cancer, a cancer called leukemia. She had been battling it for a while now, and with ups and downs along the way. But even as a 9-year-old, I could tell it wasn't going good. Even so, that day at Grandma's when we got the news, she only had a few more days left. Still hit us pretty hard. I had been strong as I could, but that day I couldn't hold myself together. When all at once, Dan scooped me into his arms and told me everything would be okay. He was he was only my age at the time. A short 6 months after that, my dad was remarried, and for 6 months after that, my dad lived at his new wife's house with all my sisters. So me, Jake, and Dan had our nice big house all to ourselves, living off the necessities, Dr. Pepper, shells and cheese, and Jack's Pizza. Dan was the man of the house at age 18. A couple years later, Dan and Jake were roofing a shed on our farm. We had an old pond we were filling in that was our dump. However, to get to the dump, we had to go down this steep hill to our, down the hill was our good pond, and then we had to come back up to our other pond that we were filling in. And we were moving those old shingles in the bucket of our tractor, load by load. This particular time, a very large load we had on the scoop, and it had just rained the night before. It was real muddy outside and everything. Dan suggested that me and Jake should ride in the scoop and hold the load in. So there we were, 13 feet in the air, about to drive down a steep, wet hill with nothing to hold on to. As we started down the hill, the driver, Dan, yelled, "Hold on." Soon, the tractor starts sliding around and bouncing like crazy. I try to hold on, but I find myself unable to and bounce out of the scoop. As a last act of desperation, I grabbed for something, anything. I caught the edge of the scoop and held on just long enough to throw myself under the tractor. I looked up just in time to see the tractor barreling towards me, out of control. If I could pick anyone in the world to be driving that tractor at that moment, it would be Dan. Another thing I look up to in Dan is for his driving abilities. Knowing that sharply turning a wheel would flip the tractor and probably kill him and Jake, in a split second he had to think, he locked up one of the tractor's back brakes and missed me with his front tire, merely grazing my leg with the back. I looked down the second Dan turned the tractor just 5 feet from going into the pond. He had to turn it so sharp that one of the back tires was 2 feet in the air. But by the grace of God It stayed on its wheels, and everyone was not hurt, and we're all still alive as well. I could tell many other stories about my brother Dan, like the time he jumped off a house that was a 25-foot drop with 20 feet of concrete in between him and the pool, and by the transitive property I had to follow. Or the time he threw a firework into our fire pit 2 feet away from us with nowhere to run, so we pulled anything we could to grab as fast as we could to cover ourselves, and after the explosion, finding holes burned into the items we grabbed. With a brother and a role model like Dan, the stories are endless, and so is my pride to be Dan Schlemper's little brother.
Were you scared in that tractor?
Oh yeah, I nailed him. He sugarcoated it.
He didn't.
I nailed him.
Do you remember those few split seconds of pure terror as you
Oh yeah, it was the.